Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to a gorgeous evening. It's starting to cool down just a little bit, and we've got these lovely, like, 70s temperatures at night. It's awesome. I've actually been able to wear a sweatshirt. It's fantastic. So, we have been playing with some of the Golden's Glass Bead Gel for the last couple of weeks to add some sparkle and some embellishment to some of our artwork. And in a couple of the last paintings, the botanical sparkling ones that we did and that green fire one we did, I've been using that Halo Jacquard, the little bottle that I had, the Lumiere by Jacquard in Halo Blue Gold. And I told you guys I would go and see where I found it, and I did actually find it. I found it on Amazon. And I found great big 8-ounce jars, which made me very happy. So this is that 5-year-old bottle, and this is the new bottle. And it's just so pretty. The only thing that I wanted to say about this is a soft body acrylic. So versus some of the paints like we use, like the Goldens, I like to use the heavy bodied, and they give a nice thick consistency. This stuff is much thinner. It's a nice consistency, but it's not nearly as heavily pigmented as some of the Golden heavy bodied colors. So I would caution you in using these in your pouring artwork, because you will probably end up using more than you would, like, instead of an ounce of Golden, you would probably need 2 or 3 ounces of this to get that same thick consistency. So just be cautious. The 8-ounce bottles are about $16 or $17, so it's not very cheap. It is kind of pricey, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous paint. I wouldn't necessarily use this on a big, huge canvas. I would use it on a 14 by 14 or a 12 by 12 or something smaller like that, and get the most bang for your buck. But I bought a few of them. And
because that's how you roll.
And I'm a sucker for pretty colors too, especially if it sparkles, just like you guys. And I found this other color, this one. So that's the Halo Blue Gold, and this one is Halo Violet Gold, which is really, really pretty and beautiful. And I also got another one that was Grape, which is a little darker than that one. So I kind of mixed these two together, and I painted this canvas with it last night. And it's got a lot of sparkle already. The mica in there is really pretty, and there's a little bit of the different tones, the purple versus the halo. And I don't know, it's just really, really pretty. And I was thinking about what I wanted to do with this, and I found this stencil that I had that I think is a really beautiful shape, and I've just kind of been a little bit obsessed with it lately, and was thinking about what I wanted to do. And I think I've decided that I want to just do this stencil with the Glass Bead Gel on top of this, but I'm also going to add this Little Piggy pigment in the Pigs After Dark series. This one is Seductive, which is really cool. I think it's like a turquoise, glittery, glow-in-the-dark kind of color. So I'm pretty excited about this one. So, okay, so to recap, I have painted the canvas with that Jacquard, Lumiere by Jacquard, in those 2 purple colors, and let it dry. And now we're going to use the stencil with the Glass Bead Gel and that Piggies After Dark in Seductive, which I'm very excited about. This is the glow-in-the-dark one, so it's going to be pretty exciting. The first thing we're going to do is place our stencil and figure out where exactly we want it. And then I'm going to use some of my blue tape, and I'm going to tape it down. So I'm also going to try to do that so that I don't make a mess on the rest of the canvas. We also don't want to move that too much. And you want your stencils to be pretty flat. You don't want them to do this bubbling thing that this one is doing. But we're going to make it work. So I'm just going to grab the edge first. Get in contact. And lift this up and pull it tight. Being as flat as you can. You are. So there's still a little bit of a bubble. We'll just do this area first and make sure we get it stuck down nice and tight. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now we're going to use the Glass Bead Gel, and I'm going to take a kind of a bigger cup, because that's not going to take just a tiny bit. That's going to use quite a bit of the Glass Bead Gel. And I'm just going to put a big scoop of this in here. So I got the Glass Bead Gel from the Michaels website. I had a coupon. I think it ended up being, for a 32-ounce jug, it's something like $31. So while it's not the cheapest stuff in the world, I think in terms of embellishment, it's really beautiful and really, really cool looking. And like I said, for smaller pieces, it's good. So this is the Seductive. HOA brought out the little black light, so let's see. Make it glow. Ooh, that's going to be cool, I think, especially on top of that dark purple. So it's going to be awesome. All right, we're going to take a nice big scoop of our piggy. We're not going to be shy with this. We can put maybe 2. Kind of a lot of gel gloss in there, so we might go for 3. Put your lids back on as soon as you're done. Don't want to spill this stuff. Okay, now we're going to give this a good stir. You should be wearing a mask when you do this. I am working outside. And piggies work beautifully with all of the golden gel products. They mix up so easily. You can get all your beautiful glow-in-the-dark piggies from the Piggies After Dark line and all their other colors from their website at www.fluid-art.co. So, okay, we are ready to start. I'm going to use my bigger palette knife because I like this one, especially since we're doing bigger areas. It'll be fine. And we're going to start over here where it's still kind of bubbled a little bit. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Yes, my love.
Okay, so we're just going to get some on there, and we're going to smooth it up. I'm not looking to leave a super, super thick layer on here. I want it kind of smooth and even for this application. And I would recommend, if your stencil is not completely flat, that you go slowly and in one direction. Don't go back and forth. Go in one direction and stay that way. That way you'll keep a nice smooth line. Good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright.
Almost like you were troweling some mortar on there. It sounded like it too.
Yeah. I love this stuff. I think it's so much fun, and it gives this beautiful effect. I'm really excited to see it with the glow-in-the-dark piggy. I think I've only used that color in resin before. I love the piggies in resin. That's awesome. Alright. Clean your hands off before you take your tape off. Alrighty. This should be fun. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Yes, my love.
Here we go.
Semper Paratus.
Woohoo! That's cool. It worked. That's awesome. I will clean that off camera. But I love how this looks. So we got a little bit of a mess over here. Let's see if we can't try to clean this up just a little bit.
How about a Q-tip?
No, it's okay. Just go slow. You could also use a small paintbrush to clean that off. The one that I've been using for the gel gloss. That's already not bad. All right. I think the glow-in-the-dark aspect of this on top of this color is going to be really, really beautiful. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything else to it after this, but I'm really fascinated by that geometry and the shape and the texture and the sparkle and the color difference. And I think with the glow-in-the-dark, it's going to be awesome. So, okay. So I will show you guys this one when it's dry tomorrow, and then we will figure out if we're going to do anything else to it. But so far, I think this is beautiful, and I love it. And I have some other ideas of what we can do with this, so we'll be right back. Welcome back, and hello again. So I have our dried results from our experiment with our glow-in-the-dark, this Little Piggy pigment, Seductive, and the golden glass bead gel on top of that Lumiere by Jacquard paint. And I think it's beautiful. First, I really like the pattern. I love the geometricness of it. It does actually glow, which is pretty cool, and I will show you guys in a little bit. But this is a very good example of slowing down, perhaps, and taking your time with some of the finer details, which is what HOA is always telling me. It's like, let me get a ruler, let's measure it. And I'm always like, no, I just want to do it. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's just wing it.
Yeah, well, you know, but a lot of times winging it works.
Yeah,
but
true.
In this case, because this was so simple, I'm actually slightly annoyed that it's not evenly centered or spaced. So there's a little bit more room on this side. As I spread the glass bead gel out, it's a little thicker over here, and then it's a little lighter in this area. So after some mental gymnastics this morning and trying to figure out what I wanted to do to save it, because I do really like this and I think that there's a lot of potential here, I was thinking of what to do to it, and I have decided that I am going to embellish it a little bit more. So we're going to use some more stencils and a different pattern that's going to, I hope, work very well with this. So this kind of reminds me of like a trellis or a wall, and we're going to use this stencil over here, which is very floral and dainty and feminine, with this little piece here on top of the parts that I'm not crazy about. There's one area over here where it's not as smooth as I'd like it, and this side, this quarter, seems to be a little bit thinner. This is a little thicker on there. So I'm going to take the stencil, which is very soft and feminine, and I'm going to place it directly on top of the part that I want to cover up that's a little bit messed up, and also to have a little bit of the stencil hanging over onto the edge where there is no glass bead gel to create some pretty contrast. And I also have this little piece that we're going to probably use going that way. So I will tape that down. I'm not going to use the glass bead gel again because I feel like there's already a lot of texture on there. This is just Golden's regular heavy gloss gel, which I use to make my pouring medium. It is very thick. I have put a lot in here because I kind of want it on there thick. And I'm going to use this beautiful color, which is another Lumiere by Jacquard. What's that song? Look what you made me do. This is the Indigo, and I think it's gorgeous. And I wanted something that was going to contrast with not only the base coat color, the darker eggplanty purple, but also to contrast with that glow-in-the-dark Seductive turquoise. So this is what we're going with. So I'm shaking it up. I'm not mixing it with anything. And I'm just going to add, look at this color though. Like, now again, this stuff is not cheap. It's like $17 for 8 ounces, which is kind of a lot. So I wouldn't really use it for anything huge. Let's start with that much and see what kind of color we get with this. We don't want to add too much liquid because, like I said, I want it to stay thick. But we're just going to mix that up. And I anticipate the color changing just a little bit while it's wet, but I anticipate it drying just like that color because the gel gloss is clear and dries clear. We can always put a little bit more in there too if we want to. And make sure your hands are clean before you touch that. And make sure your workspace is clean also. Okay, so that's ready to go. Let's tape this down first. So this side is good. I have no beef with that at all. It's just over here. There's one spot there specifically that I want to correct. So I want to make sure there's a wider part of the pattern that's going to cover up that section. And I'm even tilting it a little bit to make sure that we do get that coverage. Now I'm going to tape it down. Now this is a little bit risky because there's texture underneath here. So I think as long as we go slow, we'll be fine. We're just going to be careful in this section. Okay, and then this one I want to have going like that. Not the same height. But
You have to do it as a second one?
yeah,
Or?
yeah, I'll do that after I do the first one. Okay, so let's start with this. I have a few different palette knives here. I'm going to start with this medium one. I think this is going to be really neat. I think the contrast between that very geometric, the contrast between the very, very geometric background and the very soft floral is going to be really, really pretty. So let's see what happens. Just get a little bit of the gel gloss on the back of the palette knife. Nice and slow. And I'm going to fill in all those spaces. I'm not entirely positive what's going to happen with the where it's on top of the gel gloss, but we'll find out. It seems to be going in there. It is raised, so I don't know if this is going to work the way I thought. Maybe. So this is going to be really thick on there because there's a lot of space underneath. We'll see if it works. I'm going to put a little bit more on there, just because I want it nice and thick. Excited. You think that's good?
No. Should we let it harden a little bit? Or?
No. Take it off right now. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Yes, my love. Ooh. See how thick that
It worked! Yay!
Tick.
That's cool.
Tick.
Tiny, tiny bit right there, but that's okay.
So baby wipes are $4.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love it. Cool. That's satisfying. You figure out how to correct a mistake. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to trim it a little bit more because I want this like that, I think. Alright, we're going to use the little tiny palette knife. We're going to be super careful. You ready, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's it. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay! That's cool. All right, so again, it's not perfect, but I think that this very floral pattern distracts from the slight imperfections or that were there, and I think it's really beautiful and soft, and I really kind of like the juxtaposition of the soft feminine florals being a darker color. And then of course we're going to take this and take it inside the yurt, and we'll show you with the black light, which will be pretty awesome. So we will be right back with dried results. This is cool.
I'm going to turn a little sideways so I can see how thick it is. No, the other way. That may not be showing.
Huh?
Just trying to see the edges to see how thick it was.
That's cool. I'm really glad it worked.
Yeah.
I think that looks awesome now, huh?
Yep.
Okay, here we are with our dried results. This one turned out so cool. I love this. To recap, we used that Lumiere by Jacquard in the Halo Violet, mixed with a little bit of their Grape for the base coat color, that beautiful eggplanty purple. And then we used this Little Piggy After Dark in Seductive for that glow-in-the-dark effect for that background with the golden glass bead gel. And then last we used the Indigo from Lumiere by Jacquard with the gel gloss to just come in and put this really pretty, fine, delicate, lacy floral pattern on top of that, which made me so happy because it covered up the slight imperfection that was up there at the corner and gave us something else to look at. And I think this is awesome. And I will show you guys in the yurt with the glow in the dark. But HOA, can you kind of tilt it around for us? Just a little so sparkly and beautiful even without the glow in the dark. I am so pleased. And you see how beautiful that indigo came out, nice and deep and dark and shiny. Can you tilt it back just a little HY? There we go. Ah, so cool. I love it. Awesome. So this was fun. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will see you guys real soon. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye. Okay, here we are in the yurt. This looks so cool. I love this. So that glass bead gel with the glow in the dark, seductive piggy in the dark is glowing and is beautiful. And that gorgeous little vine pattern we put on there now in the dark looks very silhouetted and gorgeous. So I'm super happy with this. That's awesome. And that's beautiful texture on there. I'm gonna turn on the flash so you can actually see it. But this is cool. Super excited about that. Yay! That's so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.